The Mandela Effect. Have you ever argued passionately with your friends about something you swear happened, only to discover you're completely wrong according to official records? That's exactly what the Mandela Effect is, and it's baffling millions around the world. Named after Nelson Mandela, whom thousands distinctly remember dying in prison during the 80s, despite Mandela living until 2013 and becoming South Africa's president. Strange, right? But it's not just Mandela. Take the Monopoly man. Does he have a monocle? Most say yes, but surprise, he never did. How about the children's book, The Berenstain Bears? Countless people swear it was Berenstein. Scientists often dismiss this phenomenon as collective false memories or confusion due to similar events. But here's the mind-bending question. Could millions of unrelated people simultaneously make the exact same mistake? Or could it hint at something bigger, perhaps proof we're shifting between parallel universes or timelines, glimpsing echoes from slightly altered realities? Déjà vu. You've probably experienced it, that eerie, unshakable sensation where everything happening in a moment feels exactly like a replay from your past. That's déjà vu. But what exactly causes this bizarre glitch? Science says it's your brain temporarily malfunctioning, creating a false sense of familiarity, almost like an accidental double-click in your memory system. But does that really explain those vividly detailed feelings where you can even anticipate the next sentence spoken? Here's the kicker. Some researchers propose déjà vu might be more extraordinary, suggesting we briefly connect to alternate realities or overlapping timelines. Imagine reality like multiple layers of film overlapping, and suddenly you catch a glimpse of a parallel scenario you've already lived. Next time you experience déjà vu, stop and think, could you be briefly peering into another version of yourself? Missing time. Phenomenon. Imagine you're driving home, you glance at the clock, it's exactly 9:05 p.m. Moments later, you're pulling into your driveway, and suddenly it's midnight. Where did 3 hours go? Welcome to the missing time phenomenon. And yes, it's as unnerving as it sounds. People experiencing missing time often recall nothing at all, feeling they've simply blinked and hours have evaporated into thin air. In more extreme cases, people have even lost entire days. While skeptics chalk it up to stress, exhaustion, or psychological trauma, some documented cases have no logical explanations. Theories range from UFO abductions, paranormal activities, to far stranger suggestions that individuals might temporarily slip out of the current timeline into an alternate dimension or even outside reality itself. So, what's happening during these lost hours? And could it happen to you? Doppelgängers and double sightings. What if you suddenly encountered a perfect duplicate of yourself, walking down the street, sipping coffee, living its own life, completely unaware of you? Sounds terrifying, right? But it's a real phenomenon known as doppelgängers. Historically, encountering one's double was considered a grim omen, a sign of imminent doom. But today, numerous well-documented encounters still occur, leaving people deeply unsettled and questioning their sanity. Psychologists suggest hallucinations, stress-induced visions, or mistaken identity. But wait, how can you mistake your own face? Some theorists propose doppelgängers might be real evidence of parallel universes colliding, briefly allowing you to meet another version of yourself living in another dimension. Ask yourself, if you met your double, would you dare approach? Time slips. Picture this. You're walking down a modern street, glance down at your phone, and when you look up, everything around you is centuries old. Buildings, people, and atmosphere suddenly reflect another era. Seconds later, everything snaps back to normal. This is known as a time slip. Not science fiction. Real people, rational and credible, have reported these brief, bewildering glimpses into other eras. One famous case involves two women touring Versailles in 1901 who suddenly found themselves amidst 18th century scenery, claiming they'd briefly stepped into Marie Antoinette's time before reality returned to normal. Could these rare events suggest reality isn't stable, but rather like thin layers overlapping? Or perhaps pockets of time exist that allow brief travel into the past or future? How fragile is our timeline, and could you unknowingly slip through? Objects appearing and disappearing. Have you ever placed your keys somewhere specific, returned minutes later, and they're inexplicably gone? After frantic searching, they reappear exactly where you originally left them, as if they temporarily vanished from existence. It's shockingly common. While skeptics label this forgetfulness, eyewitnesses passionately disagree, convinced items literally vanish. Some theorize these moments are evidence of temporary dimensional glitches, physical objects briefly slipping between parallel realities or layers of existence. Imagine a reality occasionally flickering, misplacing objects in the gaps between dimensions. Could your lost sock, keys, or wallet literally glitch between worlds? Sky anomalies. Imagine stepping outside, looking up, and seeing an entire floating city appearing above you, complete with skyscrapers and roads, clearly visible, yet impossible. This has actually happened multiple times worldwide, most famously in China, terrifying and captivating thousands. Official explanations suggest it's a rare atmospheric optical illusion known as Fata Morgana. But believers in alternate realities or parallel dimensions propose these floating cities might be momentary glimpses of another parallel universe briefly intersecting with ours. How solid is our understanding of reality if entire cities can briefly materialize overhead? Are these optical illusions, or evidence reality occasionally glitches, accidentally revealing something incredible? Glitching animals and birds. Imagine witnessing birds suddenly freeze mid-flight, suspended motionless, defying gravity, or animals repeatedly stuck performing the exact same action robotically. Reports of glitching wildlife are frequently captured in unsettling videos worldwide. Skeptics dismiss them as optical illusions or explainable animal behaviors. However, many witnesses describe undeniable surrealness, convinced these events show nature itself temporarily malfunctioning. Could nature sometimes glitch, freezing animals mid-action as if their characters stuck in a looping animation? What if our world isn't quite real, but an elaborate simulation occasionally revealing its flaws? Premonition Dreams. Have you ever dreamed vividly of a specific scenario, like an accident, conversation, or event, and days, weeks, or even years later, watched helplessly as that dream unfolded in perfect detail? That's a premonition dream, real and disturbingly common across history and cultures. Science dismisses them as coincidence, selective memory, or subconscious predictions based on subtle clues. Yet many experiencing these dreams feel something more profound, believing they've briefly accessed events in the future. If reality is linear, how can someone see tomorrow today?